Okay, thank you guys. Good morning, everyone. So today we are in week 5. Let me share just a moment. Python, yeah, modules. So today we are in week not 5, week 6. That is Python libraries. So today we are going to cover Python libraries. So to cover Python libraries, we have several things that we have to know. We want to know what is packages, what are libraries, then what are modules, and what is NumPy, or what is pandas, and also what is matplotlib. Then that's what we are going to cover for today. We are going to cover Python libraries in Python. We are in week 6. We are in week 6 of learning Python. So for those who are saying the LMS is misbehaving, I think in our today's Python session, it's working, it's not disturbing. So that's what we are going to cover for today. So we are going to give different examples so that you understand what are libraries and how you can go around Python libraries. All the week's contents, like all the way to week 5, everything has been taken care of. We have all the assignments, the weekly challenges, and the assignments are there as well, and also the recordings are there as well. Everything should be working correctly. So we are in week 6, as I said, and this is what we are going to be doing, Python libraries. So in the meantime, you can open your VS Code for those who will follow along. Someone is saying that you can't access these notes. Is it true? Anyone who has successfully downloaded these notes? Yeah, guys, I've downloaded. Don't know why someone say they can't downloaded successfully. Okay, I'm going to resend the notes, then I'm going to lock the chat for those who have not downloaded to download, then we unlock the chat for communication. Python libraries, where are they? Okay, there we go. Python libraries. I've uploaded that file, so anyone can just access it. Anyone can just access the notes. Very easy, very easy. You can access those notes. You can download and open them as we wait for you. There you go. I've shared multiple times, so everyone should be able to see the notes. Week 6, Python libraries. So let's just go to what are Python libraries. I've shared the same presentation that I'm using, same presentation that I've shared. Week 6. But before that, what are our main learning objectives? Our learning objectives are very simple. So by the end of the lesson, we are required to understand what are Python libraries, or what are libraries in general. We are going to learn how to install and also import and use Python libraries. You are going to see some examples of libraries like the math library, the random, the date, and other examples. Then, of course, with that, we are going to do some practicals as usual. So, Python libraries, week 6. So, what are libraries? Just to go straight to the introduction, what are libraries? A Python library basically is just a collection of pre-written code that you can use to perform common tasks without having to write everything from scratch. Okay, with that definition, we can see Python library is just a collection of pre-written code. What is a pre-written code? For example, I'm writing my own code that does what? That creates an authentication system, right? Then after creating that, I give you, or I just give any random person now to use that code to create their own authentication system. But before I give you, I have to define some rules. How do you have to access that authentication code that I wrote? Now, imagine that is just like writing a library for your own. Like a Python library is just a collection of pre-written code that you can use to perform common tasks without having to write everything from scratch. Now, you see, we are not able to write the authentication system because someone has just already written it for us. So that is a pre-written code. So that will avoid you from creating your own authentication from scratch. That's just an example of this pre-written code. We are going to see what are some of these pre-written codes or libraries in Python, so don't worry. So basically, that's what libraries are. Just a collection of pre-written code. So how do you use libraries? How do we use libraries in Python? How do you use libraries in Python? For example, we do import libraries, or we can either use built-in libraries or we can use external libraries. So what are these built-in libraries that we are talking about? You remember when we were creating something like a function. A function, we add some things that are predefined, like how you have to write that function. It's already predefined. How you have to write an array, a list, it's already predefined. So that works the same as just Python libraries. So we have a set of pre-written code, but it also comes whenever you are installing Python, already comes pre-installed together with Python. So that pre-written code is already there, that has been written. It's just up to you to know how to use it. For example, we have the math library. You know, in mathematics, we have so many things that you can do in mathematics. You can round off, you can find the square root, you can find the circumference of a circle, you can do division, multiplication. So in mathematics, you have so many operations. Okay. Now, instead of you creating your own logic, instead of you writing your own logic on how to calculate a square root of a certain thing, of how to calculate a square root of a certain thing. Okay. Now, instead of that, you can use the math library that has already been written and just import or just use the function that you want. For example of a function that I want is the square root. I can use the division, the circumference. All those operations, they are already pre-written in Python libraries. So we are going to see how, and we are going to write this example. So let's just go straight to the code and see how we go about it. But in case I go too fast, you guys, you can share on the chat the Q&A. So in case I move too fast, you guys, you can just notify me on the Q&A. So there you go. I have my VS Code as usual. I have my week 5. Let me just create week 6. Week 6. There we go. week 6, week 6, week 6. So in week 6, we can do index, no, index.py. So index.py for us to write that code. So what we do here, we use the keyword import the math library. Okay, we import the math library. So the math library, we said it's already pre-written, it's already pre-installed together with Python. Whenever we are installing Python, the math library has already been pre-installed together with Python. So for us is to know how to use that particular function. So I'm going to print the square root, print as square root. No, instead of that, no, that's the wrong thing. We do the math dot square root. We do math dot square root. Just a moment. Yeah, there you go. So what I'm doing here, let me just rewrite the code. Now you see this math library that we just installed. Now we use the print math, okay? But before that, let's see when we print math what happens. It tells us this is a module, but we are not doing anything. So we do math dot, you see all these operations that we have here, all these operations that we have here, so many of them. You can decide to use any factorial flow, whatever these scientific functions, all these functions that we have. So you can use math dot square root. The square root is just written like this, sqrt, the square root. Then here we add the number that we want to find the square root of. Then we can run our code and we can see the square root is 4. We can add any random number like 17 and it will give us the square root. There you go, 4.12, blah, 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 blah. So that's how we use built-in libraries in Python, modules and libraries in Python. So basically, that's how, for example, you can use the math library in Python. So we said this math library has already been pre-written with all those operations. We don't care how they have written it. We don't care behind the scenes how they have written this library. Us is just to know how to use this particular library. Okay, so we can continue and look at a different example. A different example is, let's say for example, I don't want to use this math library and then use it right here, then use it here. So what happens? So what happens here is, whenever I'm importing this math library, it imports math and imports everything or every single function inside this math library. Now let's say the problem with this is that if I'm writing a big system and I keep importing libraries just like this, for example, import the math library, then import another library, and my system is too big. So that means by the end of the day, the system might slow down. But to optimize that, instead of importing the whole library, I can import a single module inside that particular library. So for example, instead of now importing this and all other modules or other functions inside that, I can basically say from the math library, import square root. From the math library, import square root. Now, as you can see, yes, I've gone from the math library, but specifically, I don't want to import everything. I just want to import a single module. So here, I just imported the square root. Now, you just have to replace the math with the square root just like that. Now, after we import this, we are just using the square root. So that means if we keep writing our code in this way, then our code will be optimized and our system by the end of the day will be more faster than usual. So basically, that's how we go about importing maybe built-in libraries. So let's see another example. Let's see another example of how we can use different libraries. So we have another example here, and this example is just finding the square root, something like this. These are just some examples. Like you can just follow along these examples. The first example is using the square root. The second example is finding the sin. You know mathematics. If you have done math, you know the sine, the cosine, and the tan. The tan theta, whatever, you know that. If you have done mathematics, you know all these examples. Then the third example is just talking about the power, or we use the power. Let me see if I can use the, oops. Yeah, okay. I want to copy this example. How to do it? Is it? I want to copy this example 3. Yeah. So I want to copy this example 3 and try to use it. Now I can just revert back to this. That is math dot square root, so that I use the general math library here. It works correctly. It works the same. So this operation, like from math import square root, only happens if I know what specifically I want to use. But as you can see, in my system, I want to use multiple operations. So it's pretty fine for me to still use to import the math library like this, so that I can call it whenever I want it to. So for example, we want to find the power 2 raised into power 3. So mathematically, what is 2 raised into power 3? Just want to see if you know the answer. 2 raised into power 3 in mathematics. Let me open the chart. In mathematics, what is raised into power 3? 8, 8, 8, 8, 6. Someone say 6, 8, 8, 8, 8. 88? Someone is saying 88? Wow, crazy. Why are you guys laughing at our friend who said 88? Okay, let's see the answer. What is 2 raised into power 3? So because I'm dumb, I'm not good in mathematics, I can say 2 raised into power 3 is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Maybe I'm so dumb in mathematics. Let's see. There we go. The power of 2 raised into power 3 is 8. And I'm correct. I thought I was dumb. Anyway, I'm so good in mathematics. I see I can have 8. let's say, for example, that was simple. That was simple. Let's try 2 raised into power 7. Power 7. 2 raised into power 7. Someone called me dumb. Let's see who is dumb now. Let's see who is dumb. 128, 128, 128. Wow. See, you guys are good in mathematics. Someone say 700. Ah, no, msiba. 700. You are kidding? Ah, I know. I get you. We're just making fun. 128. Okay, let's see. All these people are getting it right. Someone say 148. Pauline. Someone saying 148. No, I know it's just a typo. It's 128. So all these people are getting it right. I'm pretty sure they are not calculating from the top of their head. They have already written this code. So they are just feeding 7 pap, then get answer 128.0. Oh, you guys are wrong. You guys are all wrong. It's not 128. It's 128.0. You have missed the 0.0. Oh, you guys are wrong. I can see. I was correct. We have the first person. David Mooley got it right, and Solomon 128.0. It's not 128. You guys are correct. It's 128. Okay, let's see. 2 raised into power 9.5. 2 raised into power 9.5. Let's see who got it right. Let's see. 2 raised into power 9.5. Felix, I can see you just copied the answer. Wow, so nice. Thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Oliver, Francis. Yeah, Sheila, Oliver, Felix. You can see you, Benson. Thank you. Yeah, that's the correct answer. See, oops. Yeah, 724 point all those numbers. I saw someone saying it was, let me see. There's someone who got it wrong. Let me see. I just want to laugh. It was, let me see. Where is it? I missed it. Someone said it was 724.0. 724.0? Someone said it's 724.0. So what you could have done is, I remember when we were in class 4 5, we are taught how to round off. So take 724, then you round off to 3 decimal places or 2 decimal places. It should be 724 point, either 077 or 01 or 08. All those answers are correct. Thank you guys. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Ed. I see you enjoyed the sessions. Okay, let's continue with our slides. Now, in mathematics, we can do so many things. We also have another library that is called random. The random library. So in random, you can do, in this example code here, import random, print random number between 1 and 10. So you can print the random integer just like that. Then you print out the random number. So I want us to write that code and see how it goes. So we are going to import the random library. Okay. Now, because we have imported the random library, we just imported it right here. So all our imports, just to write clean code, you just have to import them on the top. Please make sure that you import all your imports right here on the top. Then the code continues like print a random number. So how do we print out a random number? We can print out, for example, random number, then I get the random, then I do random dot random integer. So before I do the random integer here, so the moment I just write the random, I'm using this random library here, random dot, now I just want to know whatever random thing I want to do, a random integer, a random choice, a random whatever. All these options we have, you can use them whenever you are using the random library. So random dot random integer. So right here into brackets, you specify the range from 0 all the way to 12. So I just want to print out a random number in between 1 and 12. Okay. So I want to print out that particular random number. So now this one is a gamble. This one is a gamble. This one is a gamble, right? This one is a gamble. I want you guys who are following along, who are writing the code, I want us to bet. I want to print out a random number between 1 and 12. So let's stick with that, 1 to 12. I want you to run your code and get me the answer. Someone is getting random 5, random 7. Thank you. You guys are printing. Are you guys running the code or you are just writing a random number? Hey, all these people, I doubt. You. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Am I getting wrong answer? Yeah, it was just a mistake. Let me run my code again. Run. And I get 12. Who got 12? Oh, you guys are wrong. Except Patricia. I got 12. So it's correct. Is it me or is it you? Unfortunately, my machine is freezing. I don't know why my machine is freezing today. Yeah, I see you. I see someone. Consolata is saying it's just a random number. No one is wrong. Yeah, thank you. No one is wrong, actually. No one is wrong. It's just a random number. So the moment I rerun this code, I'm going to get a different random number. So everyone is correct. You see, I just get a random number 6. So how can you implement this in real life? You can create your own aviator. Then people can bet. You players like 1,000 bob, 1,000 USD. Then you just spin. Then if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. I'm teaching you how to gamble, man. You can make money. If you know Python, you can make money. Someone say, Jabril, which country are you from? Sporty? Sporty bet? Have you ever tried Sporty bet? I think I lost so much money in Sporty bet in this Aviator thing. I swear, I'm not lying. I think I was the first people to. I think I have a commercial license. I think I can fly jets. Not only jet, but fighter jets, man. I was using, I began Aviator. When was that? Is it 2020? Man, I'm a pro, man. But I've lost a lot of money, man. I think I remember there is a time I sold my gas. No, let me not share that. I sold my gas cylinder, sorry, whatever you call it, so that I can get 3,000 Kenya shillings for me to go and bet. And let me tell you, minor, I stayed for another 1 year without cooking. Well, I'm not lying. I'm sharing the truth, man. I'm not lying. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue and see the next example. There we go. My favorite example. My favorite example. So, this one was a random integer, right? This one was a random integer. Now, you remember last week? Get very good examples. Very good examples. So, this time, over the week, I've been so busy. I created, so I think 5, 6 girlfriends last week. So this week, I'm too lonely. I just want to any random girlfriend to appear. So what am I going to do today? I don't have to force anyone to come. So I'm just going to call random JS mommy to come, right? I say, man, I have a list of random JS mummies. So random dot choice. Random dot choice. Is it choice or is it choices? No, it's a choice. Let's try with choice. Let's try with choice. How do you write this? It should be a string. It should be a string. So inside here, I have a list of JS mummies. So give me the first JS mummy name. I just want a name. You guys should suggest a name. I see you. I see you. I see you. Wajiko. No, no. I'm not doing Wajiko. I'm not doing Wajiko. Someone say me to use Kindiki. Kindiki alipita na demu Harigiji. No, no, no. I don't want Kindiki. I'm looking for a specific name. No, I'm not doing Kanini. I'm not doing Kanini. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I got name. I got one. I got Joy. Another one. Another one. I'm finding. I'm looking for. I'm looking for one. Let me see. Let me see. My machine is freezing. What is this now? I'm looking. No, no. I'm just looking. Oh, Naomi. 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 Then another one. Another one. I think I have 5 girlfriends. Judy. Judy. There we go. Judy. Another one, another one. Ah, no, no, I'm not doing Kalala. No, you guys, no, I'm not lying. Let me just go on top and see the first people who commented. Someone is telling me to do Charlene. No, I'm not doing Charlene. I know, I have my own reasons. Don't force me to Charlene. Ah, there we go, there we go, there we go. I've seen one, I've seen one. It's called Lean. Lean. Another one, another one, another one, another one. The last one, the last one. They should be five. They should be five. I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. Let me see, let me. Let me just freeze the comments. No, 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 no. Let me freeze the comments. Let me see. I'm finding for an interesting name. You guys, George, why are you forcing me into Kalala? No, I don't want. I don't want. Any name that has been suggested by Emma, I'm not picking. I want the ladies to suggest. Who is this? Kevin, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just looking for a lady who suggested the name. Let's say Mercy. Naomi suggested for me, Mercy. But why are you? Naomi, you are in the list. Why are you suggesting me to pick Mercy? I can see. You guys are crazy. Let's continue. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So let's run our code and see who will come. Who will come? Random JS mommy. Let me just rewrite the code. Just a moment here. Random JS mommy is. Let's see, drum rolls, drum rolls. Let's see who comes. Let me see who wins. There we go. Judy wins. Judy wins. The rest, you go, you go. Let's run the code again and get that random girlfriend. This time around, it selected Judy. I just got Judy. Judy is not available, but I have had so many. There you go, Lean. No, Lean, you must come. I see. You have Lean here. So that's an example of how you can use the random library in mathematics. Now imagine you are just like me. Until you got Lean, Enoch. Why are we competing? You got Lean too? Why are we sharing Lean? Why are you using my examples, Enoch? Wanda Muga, you're also using Joy. No, no, this game is rigged. I don't want. Why are we sharing? No, 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 I'm not listening to you. Let me just ignore you, Kevin. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue with our presentation. So we have learned how to use random library in Python. Now, with that said, those are inbuilt or built-in libraries. So we can use external libraries or libraries that we need to install in our machine. So not all libraries come built in. Some are external and need to be installed using pip. So you remember when we were installing Python, so many things came pre-installed. For example, the pip package manager. Pip package manager came pre-installed in our Python. Okay, so for example, you want to use the requests library. We are going to write the code and see what the request library does. So with that example, let me just create another one, that is request.py. Then I just go here. I open my terminal. I have to open my terminal. I don't know how you open yours. I just use Control J, Control J, or Control T. No. Control J. My machine works with Control J. Control key, then J to open my terminal. That's how I do it. So here you have to do pip install requests. Make sure that you check the spellings correctly. Pip install requests. We are going to install the request and we are going to see what this request does. So I'm going to pip install requests, then wait and see what happens. There we go. Pre-installing. There we go. Already satisfied. That means I've successfully installed requests. So what is request doing? So I'm going to import requests. I'm going to import the request library that I just downloaded or I just installed. Then after installing this, we are going to run the code. I think you guys already have this code, so you should not get worried. So here, let's say for example, I'm using an API key. I have an API key. For example, in all my ways, I get an API key for a certain thing. And I just want to see the content inside that API key. I can create a variable responses. Then I can do the requests. I can use the request library. You see this request library here. I can do the requests dot get. So to get here, now I can append the link to whatever resource I want to get. It can either be a link, it can either be my own JSON file that I created, or whatever file that I'm getting the data from. So here I can now print the response.status code. For example, we are going to see what this status code does. So let's first run the code so that we explain further. No, it's not working. Let's see, clear. Why is it not working again? CD week. It should be week 6. Let's see if it works. Damn. Week 6. This one should work. Requests dot what error are we getting? Import requests. Why are we getting an error? Module request as attribute get consider the naming blah 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 if the same name library you intend to import. Let's see the code where we are getting the error. Import request.get print request.status code. Why are we getting this error? Someone who can see the error? Let me see. Let me first run this code without any print statement and see. It say import requests line 1, but I've imported requests. Then request.get HTTP. I can't see anything wrong with this code unless this is not. Oops. Anyone who can see the problem in this code? Someone tell me to rename the file, import a JSON file, restart my VS Code, check the attribute name get, rename the file, rename file. Someone is telling me to do what? To do /events. Is it event or event? You see. No, it's getting me this error. I renamed the file. Maybe I'm using the name file, the same file name with the same module name. Rename and say, let me just rename the file. There we go. Yeah, correct. Thank you. So the problem was the name of the file. The name of the file. You see, this name of the file, I used requests. Then here, I'm importing requests. I'll show you something different. I'll show you something extra as we go on. So imagine you can create your own modules and import them. For example, if I was creating, for example, a function here, and I call it function index.py. Imagine I can just go here and import, for example, and import index, and this, for example, will import this index. I'm going to show you how. So let's just first ignore it. So what it was doing, it was conflicting itself. Requests and requests. So the problem was the name of the file. Thank you for that. So here, I'm going to do the response. I can print out the response and see the content of this particular file. Let's see if we get anything. Response status is 200. So that's how you can use these particular event or particular request. So I don't know if this API contains anything. Let's see if it contains anything. Yeah, you can see this API is a valid API that you can get data from. It's a valid event that you can get data from. So let's see if we can get any data from this particular event. Response at one object not subscribable. Yeah, okay. It's fine. So yeah, that's how you can get. So you can go a step further and see now how do you print out this data from this API. So you guys have been hearing this. I think people have been calling it vibe coding and so on. So vibe coding is just doing anything. For example, we have this API and we just want to print out a random thing. But of course, using vibe coding, we can do anything. We can just do a random thing like building a silly thing. For example, you see this example we have been building here. This example, they don't make sense at all. You see all these examples like printing a random girlfriend, they don't make sense at all. But this is just vibe coding. We are just coding anything for the sake of coding. So this is what, for example, we call it vibe coding. Coding anything just for the sake of coding. You can build a crazy thing that makes no sense, but it's something crazy. So basically that's what vibe coding. So let's try. And for example, I don't know how to print. For example, I don't know how to print a certain event inside this particular file. So I'm going to tell my Copilot, help me print a single event from this API. Then press enter. There we go. You can see it has generated the code for me. All these things here, all these examples right here, all these examples. Then I can apply this one to editor. Can apply it, applying. There we go. Then I can keep the changes. Then I can close this side panel. I no longer need it. And there we go. Let's see if this code gives us any meaningful output. Let's see. There we go. You see all this data here has been printed out. Imagine that's how easy we can use anything with, just for the sake of the vibes, for us to create a random stuff. Imagine that's how easy it is. So what have we done here? We just went to requests, then we use that request, then to get the data from this particular API. Okay. Then after we getting the data from this particular API, then we get the response dot status code. If the status code is true or is 200, that means it's okay. It has gone to that. Then just go to events, then take the JSON file, the JSON, or you pass the JSON file here. If we have events, just take the first event in index number 0, then print out the event. Very simple, as simple as that. Maybe I can share this code. You guys who want to try it in the chat, you can try. You can try this example. Let me share the example. First, the example can copy. Let me lock the chat for a moment for those who are copying to copy. For those who want to copy to copy. Okay, as they copy, we can continue with the next example. Where's my presentation? Here we go. So I want us to go to the last topic, that is NumPy. NumPy. What is NumPy and what is pandas? So these are two libraries. All these two libraries are essential when working with data analysis. For example, scientific computing and also machine learning. All these two libraries are useful when it comes to using Python. When you are going to data analysis, you need to know how to use pandas and NumPy and other libraries like matplotlib and many more. So what is NumPy in specific? Is it NumPy or is it NumPy? Depends on how fast you heard someone pronounce it. So yeah, NumPy or NumPy, or NumPy stands for numerical Python. NumPy is just numerical. Instead of just writing numerical Python, you just write NumPy, numerical Python. It's used for working with large arrays and matrices. It's used to perform mathematics operations on arrays. So how do we install NumPy? NumPy is an external library. You remember the same way that we have installed requests? Same way that we have installed requests. So the same way that we have to install NumPy. Pip install NumPy. Numerical Python, NumPy, whatever, NumPy. So pip install NumPy. Then enter and we wait for it to install. There we go. I've installed mine. There we go. Very fast. Too fast. So I've installed the NumPy library. So what next? The next thing is just importing the NumPy. So we want us to perform certain operations. Let's see, whatever we get, the output like that. So I just want us to copy this code and explain what this code is doing. I think, let me unlock the chat. I think those who wanted to copy have copied. Yeah. I've already shared these notes, so it should be easy. It should be easy on you guys. It should be easy. It should be easy. It should be easy, easy, easy. I'm trying to find out. Actually, you guys, how many slides do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. 3 slides, man. You only have this. This one is just an example. So we have this one, other one is a definition, then we have example, and then we call it off. So don't leave the session. Don't leave the session. So let me create a file in week 6 and call it numpy example.py. numpy example.py. So from numpy, no, let's see how we write it. Instead of writing from numpy, we can just import numpy as np as numpy. We can just shorten it. We can just shorten this example. So over here, very very simple. We can just copy this example and we try to explain what this example is doing. So I just create my variable or my array, then I pass numpy array.array, then I pass my array right here. Now I can print out my array just like that. So let's see the example output and then we explain what's going on. Yeah, there we go. We get the exact output as that array. So create my own array, then use numpy dot array method or dot this array function, then you pass your array right here. Then that means this array, we have passed it right here. So let's write more examples so that we understand why that. So let me just copy and explain now why. Now let's see if I had this single array right here, right? And maybe I wanted to multiply the array. So what can I do? I can take the array, multiply by 2, then get the multiplied array by 2. We are going to run and see the output and see if we multiply an array times 2, what do we get? Maybe, for example, I wanted to get the mean of this array. How do you calculate the mean? The mean basically is an average of the array. What is the average? You just 1 plus 2 plus 3, then you divide by 5. So that's how you get an array. So let's see if we can get an array. Can you also get the square root of an array? How can we go about that? We are going to see, let's see the output so that we judge from the output. For example, we get the array was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the multiplication of the array? Array multiplied by 2, so it will take 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. So basically that's what the multiplication means. So what is the mean? The mean is 3 here. The mean is 3. So what is the square root? The square root is just like that. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 2, I don't know. Square root of 3 is 1 point, that one. Square root of 4 is 2. Then the square root of 5 is 2.23. So what it's doing here for the square root, it's taking one by one. What is the square root of 1? Then print out the output. What is the square root of 2? Find the square root of 2, then do that. What is the square root of 3? Find the square root of 3, then print. What is square root of 4? Then what is the square root of 5? Basically like that. Then print out everything in that particular order. It's very simple, in that particular order. So it's very simple. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. No, someone is asking. Now, this one is it's more confusing. It's confusing. Yeah, I know it's confusing. How can I use this in real life? Next week we are going to start. Let me see. Next week we are going to do data analysis in Python. So you are going to see how we can use this NumPy in real world application. So as from next week, things will be easy. You'll understand why we are using this NumPy and how you can calculate data from NumPy, or you can best use NumPy. So don't worry, for the last two examples of NumPy and also the last two examples that we are going to do like that. Okay, just a moment so that we go to the last example. The last topic will be pandas. You can see we have done NumPy with the examples. So the last thing that we are going to do is pandas. Slides. The first slide is just explanation what is pandas. Then the last one is just an example. This one is just more definition. this one is just a continuation of the example. So how many slides do you have? 2? Then we call it off. Just a moment. Can take 1 minute. Okay, someone is saying I assist with the code. Where do you want me to assist? I share the code. Okay. Let me share the code on the chat. It's working now. Yeah, there you go. The code is there on the chat. I had shared the notes, so let me share. Just a moment. Let me share the notes. Someone wants the notes. What do we call Python libraries? Python libraries. There we go. You can download the notes as fast as you can before we get too many messages. Okay, you can download the notes first before we go. Before we give the next example. So let's go to the last example or the last subtopic of the day. That is, what do we call it? What is it? We have done the NumPy pandas. What is pandas? What is pandas? And why pandas? And how can you use pandas? So pandas is for data manipulation and analysis. Am I really audible? Yeah, I can see. I thought I was on mute, but it's okay, it's fine. So what is pandas? Pandas is used for data manipulation and analysis. So pandas will allow you to work with tables like Excel and Google Sheets and many more. Pandas will help you clean and filter data easily. Pandas will help you read CSV, Excel, JSON files, etc. So basically means with pandas you can do anything. Okay? With pandas you can do anything. I'm going to share an example of, for example, how I personally use pandas on daily basis. I'm going to show you an example. So how do we install pandas? Just like requests, the same way that you install pandas. Pip install pandas. Pip install pandas. There we go. Depends with how fast your machine is. Then we have pandas installed. So I'm waiting. I think now you have installed pandas. So let me just write an example here, week 6. Pandas underscore example dot py. Pandas example dot py. So let's write this example here. Import pandas as pandas. For example, so import pandas as pd. So with that, now what do I want to do here? Let me just copy the code and explain. I'm going to share the code. Going to share the code. Don't worry. So I'm going to share the code. Let me just copy the entire code and share with you. Let me just copy and share with you in the meantime as you copy and write. There you go. in the chat, you can copy and do it in your pandas example so that we explain what's happening. Is my code. So import pandas SPD. So for example, we have a data here. We have a dictionary here. So in this dictionary, we have name, age, and score. We have a list of students, Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Okay. Age, Alice is 24, is 30, then Charlie is 22. And their score is just like that, respectively. Alice 85, Bob 90, then Charlie 95. So that's is their score. So what are we trying to achieve right here? I can create something we call data frame is equal to pandas that we just imported right here. Pandas dot